Hi, so today will be our section 7.5, which is the complex fraction. Okay, so what is complex fraction? If you see something like 3 minus 1/4 over 5 minus 5 over 6 plus 1/2. Oh, wow, this is fraction with fractions. Don't freak out when you see that. The first step is you want to get the common denominator in the top and the bottom. Okay, so now let's look at the top. The top is what? 3 and 4. So the common denominator would be 12, right? So I want to make the common denominator for the 12. So I have what? I times 4 on the top and bottom. For the second one, I want to times 3. Okay, now look at the bottom. It's 6 and 2. The common denominator would be 6, right? So the first one remains the same. 5 over 6 plus 1/2 times 3 times 3. So on the top, I have 8 over 12 minus 3 over 12 over 5, 6 plus 3, 6. Now this is more under control, right? You can just add or subtract the fractions. Okay, so on the top, I have what? A minus 3 is 5, 5 over 12, over 5 plus 3 is 8 over 6. Okay, so remember, if you divide something out, that's equivalent to you multiplied is reciprocal. Okay, to divide a fraction, we can multiply by the reciprocal. Look, A6, the reciprocal would be 6/8. They flipped. So that is equals to what? Well, this is easier. Cross cancel 6, I have a 2, so I have 5 over 16. So that's it. It's not that hard. Why I say to divide fraction that's equivalent by multiply the reciprocal? Because when you look at 4 divided by 2, that's equals to what? That is equal to 4 times, what's the reciprocal of 2? Would be 1/2, right? So that is equivalent to 4 times 1/2, which is 4/2. So remember, if you divide something, such as 4 divided by 1/5, that is equivalent to 4 multiplied by the reciprocal of 5, which is 5 over 1, which is 5, which is 20. Okay, so there's another way to do it. The second way to do it is for the same set of a number. This is the second method. Instead of finding the common denominator of the top and the bottom, we would what? Top and bottom, not just two. I'm sorry. We just find the common denominator of all the terms. So look, what's all the term means? That means all the fractions, 3, 4, 6, and 2. So the least common denominator of 3, 4, 6, 2 is what? Is 12. So what you can do is you can multiply each term with 12 with the least common denominator, such as so I multiply 12 in each term for every term. Remember, as every term, since this is has 4 terms, we need to multiply 12 by 4 times. So now we can simplify. This is 4. We have 8 plus 3 all over 10 at 6. So I have 11. Oh, subtract, I'm sorry. This is subtract. So I have 5 over 16. So we have a two-way. Either divide the fraction, we use multiply by the reciprocal, or you can multiply each term with the least common denominator. Two method. Now we can use this way to our fraction polynomial. Okay, so I have 1 minus 1 over x squared over 1 minus 1 over x. I want to identify what is the least common denominator. Now I want to use the method 2. I need to identify what's the least common denominator. Well, we need to use highest exponent. The first one doesn't have any denominator, right? But the second one has x squared and then x. So that means the least common denominator is x squared. So that means I want to multiply every terms with our least common denominators. Now I can simplify it. So the first one is x squared, subtract 1 over what? X squared, subtract x. We can still simplify it by finding by factor them out. X squared minus 1, we can write it as x plus 1 over x minus 1 over the denominator, common factor is x, so we have x minus 1. Common factor is x minus 1, so that means we can divide out x minus 1. So that's our final answer, x plus 1 over x. So even though the least common denominator is a binomial, we will do the same process. For example, we have 3 over x plus 4 minus 2 over 5 plus 2 over x plus 4. So what's the least common denominator in these 4 terms? Is x plus 4, right? So that means I want to multiply each term by x plus 4. So, okay, I'll just go ahead and do it here. X plus 4 times x plus 4 times x plus 4 times x plus 4. Cross cancel, so I have what? 3, subtract 2 times x plus 4 over 5 times x plus 4 plus 2. Now we can just simplify, combine the like terms. So I have what? 3 minus 2x minus, you subtract a positive number, it will become subtraction, minus 8 over 5x plus 20 plus 2. We simplify it, we have what? Negative 2x minus 5 all over 5x plus 18. Is that hard? What if we have a more complicated one? If we have 3 fractions on the top and bottom, what we will do? Well, these follow the same process. We need to identify our least common denominator, and then we multiplied every terms with it. So what's the least common denominator of this a b squared, ab cubed, ab, a squared b, ab? This one is 1, so this is ab. So we can identify the largest exponent, which is when it comes to a, what's the largest exponent? It's square. When it comes to b, the largest exponent would be 3. So the least common denominator would be a squared b to the cube. So we multiply everything with this. We simplify each one. So for the first one, we have a, we have b, so we have a 2b at minus. The second one is a, this cross cancel, it's 3b's, so we minus 3a plus. With 1a left, this is 2b, so we end up with b squared all over a squared. B, we have 2, we have 4b squared plus a to the cube, b to the 4th minus ab squared. Okay, so that's it. Since they don't have a common factor, so that would be the simplest form. Okay, so some problems required us to FOIL as we simplify to avoid these single errors. If there is a binomial in the numerator, we will first distribute the negative term. For example, what's that mean? We have okay, so we tell it 4 terms, x plus 3, x minus 3, x plus 3, x minus 3. We need to identify which is our least common denominator. We identify it, which is x plus 3 and then x minus 3. So we times each one with it. Okay, and then we cross cancel s plus 3, s minus 3, s minus 3. So what's remain is we have x minus 3 parentheses times x minus 3 minus x plus 3 times x plus 3 all over s minus 3, x minus 3 plus x, this would be plus 3 and then x plus 3. Oh, they all look like the same. We can cross cancel. Hey, wait a minute. This is add, this is subtract. So we really need to FOIL this. So we have x minus 3 squared minus x plus 3 squared over x minus 3 squared plus x plus 3 squared. Well, we can expand this. We already learned what? We already learned the perfect square. We know that should be x squared minus 6x plus 9 minus x squared plus 6x plus 9 all over x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus x squared plus 6x plus 9. Do I missing anything? Well, this is subtracts the whole thing. So that means we need to add the parentheses. Even for the plus 1, I still want you to add the parentheses so you know that, hey, this means adding the whole things. Okay, so now I remove the parentheses. I have x minus 6 minus 6x minus 9 all over x squared plus minus 6x plus 9 plus x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now we can combine all the like terms with what, x squared minus x squared plus 9, negative 6x, which is negative 12x over minus 6x plus 6x. So I have a 2x squared plus 18. We can try to reduce it since they have a common factor. So on the bottom, the common factor is what, 2. So I have an x squared plus 9. And then we cross cancel, divide by 2 on the top and bottom with negative 6x over x squared plus 9. So that will be the answer. Okay, let me give you the last example. So remember when we learned exponent, how we converted each expression into exponent, we know that if I have a to the, let me use x. So if I have x to the negative b power, that means it's 1 over x to the b. For example, 4 to the negative power, that's equivalent to 1 over 4 squared, which is 1 over 16. If we have x to the 1 over a, that's equivalent to 8th root of x. For example, we have a to the negative square x power. This is equivalent to 3/3 root of 8, which is our cubic root of 8, which is equals to 2. Okay? So what if our fractions contain this negative or fraction sign? What you would do is you want to make this negative or this fraction sign into a fraction. Okay, m to the negative, that's equals to what? 1 over m squared. Remember, you see a negative sign, that means 1 over whatever that is. And then plus 2m, that is equal to 2 times 1 over m, which is 2 over m, and then m plus 4 over m squared. And then you need to identify the least common denominator, which is m squared. That is, I need to multiply m squared for each term. So this cross cancel, I have m. So it's what? You can cross cancel this one, okay? This is not a fraction, this is a whole number. So I have 1 plus 2m over m to the cube plus 4. Okay, so that's it today. Don't forget our quiz 7.3. And I'll see you next week. Don't forget your homework. Bye-bye.